You didn't arrive here by chance. You were tracked here by something older than coincidence, something more intelligent than algorithm. Before this video began playing, before your finger hovered over the screen, a resonance was already being sent out across the field, a signature calibrated precisely to the frequency of whoever was ready to receive it. And somehow, across all the noise of this world, across every other option you could have chosen in this exact moment, your system recognized the signal. That is not ordinary. That is selection. That is the quiet proof that the part of you that has been waiting for years, sometimes decades, has just been found. Take a breath. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Whatever you are carrying right now, whatever was loud in your mind before you press play, let it soften just for the duration of this transmission. You are not here to be fixed. You were never broken. You are here to be remembered by yourself, by the field, by the intelligence that has been patiently holding your frequency in reserve until this exact moment. Because something is shifting. You can feel it even if you cannot name it. The tide is turning. And before we begin, I want you to understand one thing. The tide only returns to shores it recognizes. It is coming back to you because you're the shore it was always meant to reach. Movement 1. The pause was preparation. There's a law in physics that most people never notice. The law of coherent return. When a wave retreats from the shore, it is not abandoning the land. It is gathering force. The deeper the retreat, the more powerful the return. The ocean does not pull back because it has given up. It pulls back because something bigger is on its way, and the old water must make room for the new. For the past months, or perhaps years, you have been in the pulling back. You have watched things leave. People who no longer fit. Opportunities that dissolved at the last second. Versions of yourself that no longer made sense when you looked in a mirror. You have been told in 100 small ways that you were losing, that you were behind, that something was wrong with you because your life did not look like the lives around you. Hear me clearly. You were not losing. You were being emptied on purpose. The quantum field operates according to a principle scientists call vacuum potential. The idea that the emptiest space contains the most possibility. Nothing can enter a space that is already full. Nothing new can be built on ground that is still holding the weight of the old structure. What felt like collapse was the field creating room. What felt like loss was the tide drawing back so that it could return with force. There is a woman I want to tell you about. Her name is Marin, and she lived in a fishing village on a northern coast. Her family had been fishermen for 7 generations. They knew every current, every tide, every sign in the sky. And then, one summer, the fish stopped coming. Not some of them, all of them. The nets came back empty for 31 days in a row. The other villagers panicked. They sold their boats. They moved inland. They cursed the sea for betraying them. But Marin's grandmother, who was nearly 90 and had seen this before, sat Marin down by the fire and said one sentence. The sea is not empty. The sea is waiting. And what it is waiting for is bigger than anything we have ever caught. For 31 days, Marin repaired nets no one was using. She mended ropes. She sharpened hooks. She woke before dawn and went to the empty shore and simply listened. On the 32nd day, the water darkened. Something enormous moved beneath the surface. The entire bay filled with a migration of fish her village had not seen in 3 generations. A species that only returned when the water was ready to receive them. Marin cast her net. It came back, so heavy it took 4 men to pull it in. Her grandmother was right. The emptiness was not punishment. It was preparation. The fish had been waiting for water that could hold them. And the water had been waiting for fishermen who had not given up. You are Marin. Your empty nets were not failure. They were instruction. Everything you have been doing in the quiet, the inner work, the letting go, the refusal to accept the version of reality that was handed to you, was repairing your net for the weight of what is coming. And it is coming. Movement 2. Your signal was never lost. It was dampened. There is a difference between a signal that is gone and a signal that is being interfered with. When a radio station goes quiet, there are two possibilities. The first is that the transmitter has been destroyed. The second, far more common, is that something in the environment is creating static. A storm, a mountain, another broadcast competing on an overlapping frequency. The signal itself is untouched. It is still being sent with the same strength it always had. What has changed is the receiver's ability to hear it clearly. Most of the people who feel lost are not broken transmitters. They are perfectly functional receivers surrounded by interference. Think of how much noise has been layered over your original frequency since you were born. The voice of a parent who projected their own unhealed fear onto you. The voice of a teacher who told you that the thing you loved was not practical. The voice of a partner who needed you to be smaller so that they could feel bigger. The voice of a culture that trained you to measure your worth by metrics that have nothing to do with your soul. Each of these was a layer of static laid over your true signal, not replacing it, but making it harder to hear. Your signal never left. It has been broadcasting at full strength this entire time. What you're doing right now in this transmission is not generating something new. You are cutting through the interference. Dr. Candace Pert, the neuroscientist who discovered the opiate receptor, spent the last decades of her life studying what she called the body-mind. The discovery that emotions are not stored only in the brain, but in every cell of the body, carried by molecules called neuropeptides. Her research quietly confirmed what the mystics have said for thousands of years. Your body is an antenna. Every cell is a receiver. And when those cells are coated in the residue of old fear, old grief, old stories that were never yours to carry, the reception gets noisy. Here is the part most people miss. Cellular residue is not permanent. Cells regenerate. The lining of your stomach replaces itself every few days. Your skin rebuilds every few weeks. Even your bones, the most stubborn part of you, are completely remade every 7 to 10 years. You're not the same body you were the last time you believed something terrible about yourself. You are, in a very literal sense, building a new receiver right now, cell by cell, in real time. The question is no longer whether your signal can come back. The question is, what will you allow to be written into the new cells as they form? Breathe in slowly. Hold for a moment at the top of the breath. Breathe out for twice as long as you breathe in. Do it again. With each exhale, imagine the static lifting off your skin like fog burning away in the morning sun. This is not metaphor. This is your nervous system shifting from sympathetic dominance into parasympathetic reception. In the language of the field, you are tuning yourself back to your own station. Movement 3. What the field remembers about you. The field has a memory. This is not poetry. Physicists have struggled with it for nearly a century. The strange way that particles, once they have interacted, remain connected across any distance. Entanglement, they called it because they could not find a better word. Einstein called it spooky, but the implication is staggering. The universe does not forget its own connections. Once two things have touched, something of that touch persists forever outside of time and space. Now apply that to your life. Every time you were kind when it cost you something. Every time you chose honesty when the lie would have been easier. Every time you refused a hand over your inner world to someone who did not deserve access to it. Every prayer you whispered into a pillow at 3 in the morning when you did not even know who you were praying to. Every act of love that was never witnessed, never thanked, never paid back. The field remembers all of it, and the field is not sentimental. It is mathematical. It does not remember because it is moved by your story. It remembers because nothing in this universe can be added without being accounted for. The ledger is not metaphorical. Every frequency you have ever broadcast is still circulating, still being read, still in motion. There is a man I want to tell you about. His name was Tomas, and he worked for 22 years as a night watchman in a lighthouse on a rocky coast. No one watched Tomas work. No one thanked him. In 22 years, almost no one visited the lighthouse except the supply boat that came once a month. Tomas's entire life was tending a light for ships he would never meet, sailors whose faces he would never see, in a darkness that belonged to no one. One night, when Tomas was 68 years old and nearly ready to retire, a terrible storm hit the coast. A cargo ship lost its instruments. The captain was disoriented, blind in the rain, convinced they were about to run aground. Then, through the wall of water, a single steady light appeared, exactly where it had always been, exactly as bright as it had always been. The captain corrected course. Every soul on that ship survived. 6 months later, the captain tracked down the lighthouse. He climbed the long staircase to meet the man who had saved his crew. When he reached the top, Tomas was sitting in a small chair by the window, as he had for 22 years, polishing the lens. The captain tried to thank him. Tomas only nodded and said, "I didn't save you. I just kept the light on. The light has always been there. I only made sure nothing got between it and the ships that needed it. You are Tomas. The light you have been keeping in silence, in obscurity, in seasons when no one was watching, was never wasted. It was being recorded. Somewhere in the field, on a night you cannot yet see, someone is going to correct their course because you did not stop polishing your lens. And the field, which forgets nothing, is about to hand you the ledger of everything you quietly gave. Not as payment, as return. Movement 4. The return is a frequency match, not a reward. Here's where most teachings go wrong. They tell you that if you are good enough, the universe will reward you. This is a childish framing of a law that is actually much cleaner and much more beautiful. The field does not reward. The field matches. What comes to you is not a prize for behavior. It is a mirror of frequency. This is why so many people who do everything right still feel stuck. They are performing the correct actions while broadcasting underneath a signal that says, "I am not safe. I am not worthy." Nothing good stays. The field matches the broadcast, not the performance. And this is why what is about to come to you is not going to feel like a reward. It is going to feel like a recognition, like something you had misplaced returning to its rightful shelf, like a name being spoken that you had almost forgotten was yours. When the right thing arrives, there is no shock. There is only the quiet, almost boring sensation of course. It was always going to be this. So your work now is not to try harder. It is to stop interfering with the frequency you were born broadcasting. Stop apologizing for your depth. Stop dimming the parts of you that make other people uncomfortable. Stop negotiating with realities that were never going to be yours anyway. Every time you do this, you raise the signal to noise ratio of your own life. And the field, which has been waiting, responds instantly. Place your hand on the center of your chest. Feel the heat of your own palm passing through the fabric into your skin. Feel your own heartbeat answering back. This is the meeting point. Right here. The hand that acts in the world and the heart that knows what you actually came for, finally pressed together with nothing in between. This is where the new signal is written. Now speak these words out loud, or silently if you must, but with your full attention behind them. I'm sure the tide is returning to. My signal is clear. My frequency is my own. The field remembers me, and I remember myself. What was delayed was never denied. What was emptied was never abandoned. I receive what has always been mine in the timing the field has been waiting for. Do not rush past those words. Read them again if you need to. They're not affirmations. They're instructions to your own cells. Your body hears everything you say about yourself, and right now, in this moment, you are rewriting the contract. Movement 5. The first tide is always a test. Here is the part that most teachers forget to tell you, and is the reason so many people miss the very thing they have been praying for. When the tide begins to return, it does not arrive the way you imagined it. You have built a picture in your mind of what the return looks like. A phone call, a specific person walking back into your life, a sum of money, a diagnosis reversed, a door opening with a dramatic gust of wind. You have rehearsed the scene so many times that your nervous system is now scanning only for that exact shape, and anything that does not match the shape gets filtered out before it even reaches your conscious attention. There is a study from Harvard, run by the psychologists Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris, that you may have heard of. They asked participants to watch a short video of people passing a basketball and to count the number of passes. In the middle of the video, a person in a gorilla suit walks calmly across the screen, stops in the middle, beats their chest, and walks off. The gorilla is on screen for 9 full seconds. About half of all the people who watch the video never see the gorilla. Their brains were tuned to look for passes, so the gorilla became invisible. This is not a cute experiment. This is a warning about how the return of the tide works. If your brain is tuned to look only for the shape of the return you rehearsed, the actual return is going to walk right across your life, beating its chest, and you will not have eyes for it. 6 months later, you will remember the day and realize that something tried to reach you, and you were looking in the wrong direction. The first tide is always a test, not a test sent by a punishing universe. A test built into the physics of perception. The field sends the first wave small on purpose, because the first wave is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to find out whether you are ready to receive without controlling the shape. I want to tell you about Inez. Inez lived on a small farm at the edge of a valley that had not seen rain in 3 years. The soil had cracked open. The riverbed was dust. The other farmers had left one by one, following rumors of water in other valleys. But Inez stayed because her grandmother had once told her that some lands are not abandoned by the rain. They are being remembered by it in a different language, and the farmer who can hear that language never leaves. Every morning, for 3 years, Inez walked out to the dry fields before dawn and stood in silence. She did not pray loudly. She did not bargain. She simply stood there and listened and waited and came home. The villagers who remained in the valley began to whisper that she had lost her mind. They called her the woman who talks to dust. On the 1095th morning, Inez walked out to the field as always. The sky was the same flat gray it had been for 3 years. She stood in her usual place. And then, on the inside of her left forearm, she felt something so small that anyone else would have mistaken it for an insect. A single drop of water. One. Inez did not look up. She did not cry out. She did not run back to the village to announce the rain. She simply knelt down and placed both hands on the cracked earth and whispered, "Thank you. I heard you." For the next 6 hours, nothing else happened. The sky stayed gray. No more drops fell. If you had been standing next to Inez, you would have said the drop was a fluke, a bird flying over, a trick of condensation. But Inez went home, and she began to prepare the soil. She broke up the cracked crust with her hoe. She laid down the old seeds she had been keeping in a jar in her kitchen for 3 years. She dug small channels to catch water that was not there yet. By nightfall, the first real rain began to fall. Not the dramatic storm the villagers had been waiting for. A slow, steady, patient rain. The kind that soaks into the ground instead of running off. By dawn, the riverbed had become a stream. By the end of the week, the stream had become a river. And by the end of the month, Inez's fields were the only fields in the valley that had been prepared in time to catch the water properly, because she was the only one who had recognized the single drop as the beginning of the return. The other farmers came back. They found Inez's farm green and full and ready. They asked her how she had known. And Inez said, "I did not know. I recognized. There is a difference. Knowing is what you do with your head. Recognizing is what you do when a part of you that has been waiting finally hears what it has been waiting for. You are Inez. The first drop of your return has probably already landed somewhere on the inside of your forearm, in a moment so small that your thinking mind dismissed it as nothing. A conversation that ended with an unexpected phrase. A stranger who looked at you a beat too long. A morning you woke up and, for no reason, felt lighter than you had in months. A song that came on at exactly the moment you needed its specific line. A coincidence that your rational mind explained away before you even finished noticing it. Those are not nothing. Those are the first drop. The integration principle of this movement is 3 words, and I want you to hold them next to the ones I've already given you. Recognition over expectation. Stop rehearsing the shape of the return. Stop telling the field how it has to arrive. The field has a better imagination than you do, and if you insist on only one form of delivery, you'll filter out every other form, and the wave will pass across your life and leave you exactly where it found you. Your work is not to predict. Your work is to recognize. And you recognize with the body, not the mind. The body knows the drop landed. The mind will argue. Trust the body. Place your hand on the inside of your opposite forearm, where Inez felt the first drop. Press gently. Feel the warmth of your own skin meeting itself. And ask yourself, quietly, without rushing, what small thing has happened in the last 7 days that I dismissed, and what would change if I treated it as the beginning of the return instead of a coincidence? Whatever surfaces an answer to that question, do not argue with it. Do not explain it away. Do not try to verify it. Write it down if you can, even if it is only 1 sentence. That is the drop. That is the beginning. The rest of the rain is already on its way. And now, for the first time, you have the eyes to see it. Closing. I want to leave you with a picture. Somewhere in the deep ocean, far below where sunlight can reach, there are creatures that have lived their entire lives in darkness. Not because they were forgotten, but because they were designed for a pressure the surface could not survive. They glow with their own light. They do not need the sun. They carry the instructions for their own illumination inside their cells, and they shine not for an audience, but because that is what they are. You are one of those creatures, and you've been living near the surface too long, trying to match a light that was never yours. The tide that is pulling you now is not pulling you away from life. It is pulling you home, to the depth you were built for, to the pressure you were made to carry, to the light you have always been generating from inside. You didn't stumble into this transmission. You were summoned by the part of yourself that already knows what comes next. The tide is returning. Be the shore.